Hey folks, I'm back. So in this video, I'm going to kind of talk to you about how we came to the conclusion that we were going to do some full-time RV living and kind of how we worked up to that. We started talking about it about 3 years ago, and obviously it was way before any of the COVID stuff happened and everything else going on. We were pretty confident that we could get the maximum out of our house that we wanted to without having to dump a ton of more money back into it. I think we were maxed out for that before we were going to start spending serious money remodeling again, and probably not reaping the rewards of that. So we decided that because we're getting older and my back is shot, my Scott's back is shot. He's already got 2 brand new hips. So at 52 years old, that's pretty significant, and we just didn't. We just needed to change. The kids are gone. We had a huge house and property that we really couldn't keep up with anymore, and we wanted to be able to go out and live some life, because with owning 2 businesses and a large property like that, it just didn't leave any time for anything else, and we were losing ground keeping up with that and keeping up with a very physical business. So we decided about 3 years ago that we were going to do this. We had a conversation with our whole family, and my son was not a fan of it. Obviously it's his childhood home, so it was going to be very hard for him to let go, but he was also moving to across the country, and so we just kind of figured that if the kids wanted to take over the house or the businesses, then they could do that, but they both opted not to, so that didn't really leave us with much choice but to go ahead and sell. So we started talking to realtors, getting an idea of the price of our home and payoff amount, taxes, realtor fees, all of those things, and what we had to have for the house for all this to work, because we wanted to make sure that we could put some money in the bank and kind of save that, because we're still able to work, but just not in the capacity that we used to. We've aged ourselves so much further along than most people have, and neither one of us can handle the really heavy labor anymore. So we took that into consideration when doing this, and we put some hard numbers down and said, this is how much we're going to get, and we did research on where we wanted to live, how we wanted to live. There's a lot of people out there that make it on a couple $100s a month by living in a van, but I'm taking one of my businesses on the road, and my husband, he wanted to take his bike on the road and bring that with us, so that left us with very few options, and we knew that we were going to need to get a toy hauler. And the type of toy hauler that we ended up getting, there's a certain truck that you have to get. So we also sat down and really researched the types of vehicles that we wanted, the type of trailer that we wanted, insurance, maintenance, all of those things. And some of it probably isn't ideal at this point in time. Some of our plans that we had on the road for working is probably not going to happen, at least not this year. We have to have society kind of get back to normal a little bit before some of the things that we wanted to do is going to happen. We're in theater. We love acting, and we run a local haunted house here, and there was a lot of things that we wanted to do that really depended on the entertainment industry to be healthy and moving. So we're gonna have to reinvent that part, and that part's a little bit scary, I'm gonna be honest. So that's how we kind of started. Is we did our research, We budgeted. We figured out how much our house was going to sell for. We didn't factor in anything as far as, everybody always says you're going to sell everything and retire or whatever. And, unless you have a serious stash of really valuable things, most people don't. Nothing that we had was worth much of anything, when you buy your furniture from a big box store or something like that, you're only going to get a couple dollars for it. So it's humbling to know how much money you spend on expensive things, and then, or at least expensive to me, and then you try to go sell them and you can't get anything out of it. And so that part, we didn't factor any of that money in. So but that's about it, and I'm gonna go because there's somebody calling.